7 signs you have a very rare vibration that both angels and demons love. There's a vibration that very few people carry. It's not something you can fake. It doesn't come from reading books, repeating mantras, or even following a spiritual path. It's older than this life. It's deeper than words. It's the kind of frequency that doesn't just attract love or attention, it attracts beings, forces, entities. Angels are drawn to it because it's pure, ancient, and aligned with divine order. Demons are drawn to it because it's raw, unpredictable, and powerful. And if you've ever felt like something was watching you when no one was there, if you ever felt like both heaven and hell had their eyes on you, you might be one of the rare ones carrying this vibration. This isn't about good or evil. That's far too simple. This is about energy, and energy doesn't lie. It communicates way before words, beliefs, or appearances. When a person walks into a room with this rare vibration, the space changes. It's subtle, but undeniable. People either feel magnetically pulled toward them or deeply unsettled, sometimes both at the same time. That's what makes this so strange. You've probably seen it in your life. Some people love you instantly without knowing why. They feel safe, seen, even healed in your presence. Others, they get triggered. They might become jealous, threatened, or even hostile, again without knowing why. This is not about what you do, it's about what you carry.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The first sign you carry this rare vibration is that you've always felt like you were being tested not just by life, but by something else. It's like there's been a microscope on your soul since you were a child. You feel watched. You feel targeted. And yet you also feel protected in the strangest way. Have you ever noticed how you've survived things you probably shouldn't have? Accidents, heartbreaks, betrayals, things that would have destroyed someone else somehow made you more awake. That's not luck. That's design. You're being watched because your vibration is rare. It threatens the systems built on numbness, and it excites the forces built on awakening. You are a player in a larger game, whether you ask to be or not. The second sign is that your presence amplifies whatever is already inside someone. If they carry love, it expands around you. If they carry fear, it erupts. If they carry jealousy, it burns. You've probably noticed this in conversations. People either open up to you like you're their confessional, or they shut down completely. Some fall in love with you instantly. Some feel judged by you even when you've said nothing. You didn't ask for this, but it happens because your vibration acts like a mirror, not for their face, but for their spirit. And most people spend their lives avoiding that kind of reflection. The third sign is that synchronicities follow you like shadows. It's not just angel numbers or lucky breaks. It's patterns. Doors closing right before disasters. People entering your life with a message you needed to hear. Repeating dreams. Deja vu so strong it rattles your bones, you're not imagining it. When your vibration reaches a certain level of frequency, the universe begins to bend around you. Time becomes less linear. Events start to sync. And while this might sound magical, it can also be deeply unsettling, because it means nothing is normal anymore. You're not living a scripted life. You're in a lived dialogue with something far greater. The fourth sign is that you've always felt like you belong to both the light and the dark. You can pray with angels and still sit in silence with your demons. You don't flinch at pain, and you don't fake bliss. You understand that both are sacred. That's why angels love you, because you can hold the light without needing it to be soft. And that's why demons respect you, because you can hold the dark without being consumed. You don't run from fear. You walk through it. You don't chase enlightenment. You embody truth, even when it's messy. That's power. And power attracts attention, not all of it comfortable. The fifth sign is that you've never been able to lie to yourself for long. Even when you tried to play a role, you felt hollow. Even when you followed the crowd, something inside you rebelled. You've probably gone through multiple ego deaths, identities dissolving, beliefs shattering, dreams crumbling. You weren't being punished. You were being refined. Because the vibration you carry cannot be buried under illusion. It demands truth. And truth demands everything. That's why your path has been so intense. You're not here to taste spiritual ideas. You're here to embody them. And embodiment requires fire. The sixth sign is that you're a natural disruptor. Not because you want to cause chaos, but because your existence challenges the status quo. Systems built on control feel threatened by you. People who are asleep feel uncomfortable around you. Even institutions, jobs, schools, religious groups have probably tried to mold you, silence you, or push you out. You don't follow rules well, and when you try to, your soul starts to suffocate. That's not a defect. That's a signal. You're not here to fit in. You're here to shift frequencies. And sometimes that means burning down what no longer serves. The seventh and final sign is this: you've always felt like your life was never really just yours. Like your suffering had a purpose. Like your joy had a message. Like your pain was a seed. And now you're beginning to understand why. You carry a rare vibration that exists on the edge of worlds. You are a bridge. You are a beacon. You are a battleground. Angels are drawn to you not because you're perfect, but because you remember. Demons are drawn to you not to destroy you, but to test your remembering. You are not a pawn in this game. You are a key. So I ask you now, what if your greatest pain was never meant to break you, but to refine your frequency until it became undeniable? What if the reason you've been watched, tested, and sometimes even attacked is because you're carrying something that both realms recognize as ancient power? You are not here to choose one side. You are here to stand between them and awaken the world. The frequency of fire, why opposites are drawn to you. When you carry a rare vibration that both angels and demons are drawn to, you begin to notice something strange. You become a living contradiction. You're peaceful, but not passive. Loving, but not soft. Compassionate, but also terrifying when truth needs to be spoken. It's like you exist at the intersection of two worlds that were never meant to meet: light and shadow, creation and destruction, birth and death. And while most people are trying to pick a side, you are the middle. You are the fire that warms and the fire that burns. That's what makes your energy magnetic. That's why opposites are drawn to you. You hold the voltage of truth inside a body, still learning how to carry it. This isn't metaphor. It's energetic law. When two opposing polarities sense a stable midpoint, they move toward it. Not because they want to, but because they must. Your vibration is that midpoint. You are the still point in the storm. That's why angels move toward you, not just to protect or guide you, but to amplify what you already carry. And demons? They're not always who you think they are. Some are ancient fragments of chaos, yes, but others are simply unintegrated energies, raw, wounded, longing for a home. They're drawn to your vibration because they can feel you might be the only one who doesn't flinch when they show up. You've probably felt this in your relationships. People come into your life fast, intensely, sometimes with soul-level recognition. They tell you things they've never said out loud. They confess their fears, their dreams, their traumas. And then some of them disappear. Why? Because your frequency doesn't allow for masks. It strips them away. You don't even have to say much. Your presence alone starts a process inside them. Some are ready for that. Some aren't. And the ones who aren't will often run, blame you, or even try to paint you as the problem. But deep down, you know the truth. You didn't break them. You just reflected what was already breaking. This is the frequency of fire. It doesn't coddle. It transforms. That's why both angels and demons respect it. Because it's not pretending. It's real. Most people think angels are only drawn to purity and demons to darkness, but that's too black and white. In reality, both realms are drawn to power, not egoic control, but resonance. A rare, embodied presence that can hold the full spectrum of human experience without collapsing. And when you carry that, you become a kind of tuning fork for the unseen. You vibrate at a level that speaks across dimensions. You're not calling them, they're hearing you. But this power comes with a price. You can't hide. You can't fit in. You can't pretend to be small, even when it would be easier. Your energy will always stir the room, not because you want attention, but because your field is active. It disrupts distortion. It awakens suppressed truths. It shakes loose whatever is fake. You might not feel like you're doing anything at all. You might just be sitting in silence. But the people around you feel it. That's why some will love you before they even know you. And that's why others will try to minimize you, challenge you, or reject you without ever giving you a chance. You were born with this frequency, but you've had to earn the ability to hold it. And that's what most people don't see. They don't see the nights you cried yourself into the ground, the ego deaths, the loneliness, the spiritual betrayals, the dark nights of the soul that made you question everything, including your own sanity. You weren't just going through hard times. You were being calibrated, refined, tempered. Because fire without control is just destruction. But the fire you carry, it's intentional. It's sacred. It's alive. And now, your life starts to feel less like a series of random events and more like a quiet orchestration. You start to see how every heartbreak was an initiation, every challenge a classroom, every loss a ritual. You weren't being punished, you were being prepared. Because when angels and demons are both watching, you don't get to sleepwalk through life. You either rise or you get burned. And you've risen more times than you can count. That's why you're still here. That's why your energy keeps getting stronger. You carry a flame that doesn't fade. It remembers. So let me ask you something that only you can truly answer. What if you stop dimming yourself to make others more comfortable? What if your intensity isn't a problem, it's a portal? You were meant to change it. And now, the fire inside you is no longer something to hide. It's something to honor. The bridge between realms, your role in the unseen war. There is a war happening right now, not in the sky, not in some far-off dimension, but in the invisible spaces between your thoughts, your choices, your breath. It's not a war between good and evil the way we've been taught to see it. It's more nuanced, more ancient. It's a war between awakening and unconsciousness, between truth and illusion, between remembrance and forgetting. And if you carry the rare vibration that both angels and demons are drawn to, then you are not just a bystander in this war. You are a bridge, a living conduit between realms human and divine, shadow and light, past and future. You didn't choose this role. It was assigned to you before you were born. But now that you're awakening to it, everything begins to make sense. You've probably felt it before, those moments when you're doing something completely ordinary, and suddenly a deep knowing rushes through your body. You just know that you were meant to be here. You can't explain it logically, but your soul recognizes the weight of this moment. Maybe it happens when you speak truth and someone's entire reality cracks open, or when you sit with someone in silence and their pain begins to heal without a single word. You're not doing this consciously. It's your field. It's your frequency. You are bridging dimensions just by being fully present. But here's the truth most people don't want to face. Being a bridge between realms is exhausting. It's lonely. It's confusing. Because you're constantly translating languages, emotional, energetic, spiritual, between people who don't even know those languages exist. You feel everything. You see through facades, you sense motives before they're spoken, and yet you're still human. You still bleed. You still crave love. You still make mistakes. That's the paradox. You are divine and flawed, ancient and new, fragile and indestructible all at once. And holding that paradox every day without going numb. That's your unseen warrior work. The war isn't about angels fighting demons with swords made of light. That's symbolic. The real war is happening inside people, in their choices, in their integrity. Every time someone chooses truth over comfort, light over performance, depth over distraction, the realms tilt. And you're one of the ones who tilts the balance simply by existing in your full power. You are a carrier of the in-between. You walk with angels in your prayers and sit with demons in your pain. You speak the language of both because you understand both, not intellectually, energetically. That's why both sides are drawn to you. You've probably noticed how people are magnetized to you during their crises, not just friends but complete strangers. They come to you when they're ready to break, or when they already have, and you don't just offer advice, you offer space. Sacred space. A pocket of reality where they can breathe again, feel again, remember again. That's the bridge at work. You're holding open a doorway between their current self and their true self. And when someone steps through it, even for a second, they're never the same. But don't confuse your power for responsibility. You are not here to save everyone. You are not here to carry what isn't yours. Your role is to activate, not rescue. To reflect, not absorb. To embody, not perform. The war within others is theirs to fight. All you can do is hold the mirror and hold the line. And that's more than enough. That's everything. Because when enough bridges hold, the entire frequency of the planet shifts. And that's what's happening now. Quietly, invisibly, through people like you. So I'll ask you now, what would happen if you stopped trying to explain yourself to those who can't see you? What if you stopped apologizing for how deeply you feel, how much you know, how often you see through the veil? What if your entire life has been preparing you for one thing, to become a stable passage in unstable times? You are not only a witness to the unseen war, you are one of its most powerful instruments. The final initiation, what happens when you fully embody the rare vibration? There comes a moment quiet, unmarked by any grand event, when you finally stop running. Not from others, not from the world, but from yourself. You stop trying to make your energy smaller. You stop explaining away your intuition. You stop apologizing for the weight of what you carry. This moment is not loud. It's not flashy. But it is sacred, because it marks the beginning of your final initiation. The moment when you fully embody the rare vibration that both angels and demons are drawn to. The moment when you step into your full frequency, without dilution, without distortion, without fear. This is not about becoming perfect. It's not about being constantly calm or wise or enlightened. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about becoming whole. It's about reclaiming all the versions of you that you've had to hide, suppress, or exile just to survive. The wild one, the angry one, the grieving one, the ecstatic one, the one who knows things but can't explain how. When you fully embody your rare vibration, you don't just carry light, you carry truth. And truth is rarely comfortable. It doesn't fit in boxes. It doesn't ask for permission. It just is. This is why so many people walk right up to the edge of this vibration and then pull back. Because full embodiment means full responsibility, not for others, but for yourself. It means you stop outsourcing your knowing to gurus, systems, or traditions that were never built to contain your fire. It means you stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to be what you already are. And it means you finally accept that your path will never look like anyone else's, because you're not here to follow paths. You're here to burn new ones into existence. When you reach this stage, your life changes in subtle but irreversible ways. People shift around you, not because you're forcing anything, but because your vibration is now so clear, it naturally repels what no longer aligns. This can feel like loss, but it's actually liberation. You're no longer available for relationships built on illusion. You're no longer available for spaces that require you to dim your light or silence your voice. You become a frequency gate, and only those who resonate with your truth can pass through. But here's the deeper gift. The more you embody this vibration, the less effort it takes. You don't have to try to be powerful. You just are. You don't have to protect your energy through force. Your presence becomes its own boundary. You don't have to heal people anymore. Your very existence becomes medicine for those ready to receive it. And for those who aren't, your energy simply becomes invisible to them, not as punishment, but as protection. This is the divine intelligence of vibration. It does the sorting for you. You also begin to notice that your connection to the unseen becomes more fluid. Angels don't just visit you, collaborate with them. Demons don't just test you, you alchemize them. You stop seeing the spiritual realm as something separate from the physical. You realize it's all one field, and you are the conductor, the bridge, the activator. You're not trying to ascend anymore. You're anchoring. You're embodying the divine within the density of flesh. And that's a level of mastery very few ever reach. So I'll leave you with this question, one that only your soul can answer. If you stopped hiding, who would you become? If your vibration was fully unleashed without fear, without shame, what kind of world would shift around you? You are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are not preparing for your power. You are your power. And the world, it's already feeling your frequency, whether they admit it or not. This is your final initiation. This is your return. This is the moment you stop being a secret and start becoming the storm. And from this moment forward, nothing will ever be the same.